We're talking about donation dollars today and exactly where your money goes when giving to Hurricanes Harvey and Irma victims. Joining me now is Lisa Dietland. She's president of the Institute of Transformational Philanthropy. Good to have you back on the show.
Oh, love being here and talking about one of my favorite subjects, philanthropy, in a very tough time.
Now you say there are 3 R's that happen with every disaster.
There are. There is the rescue phase that is still taking place right now. There's the relief, and then there's the recovery. You know, rescue, we still don't know who's been affected by Hurricane Irma. You know, some of the areas have been cut off, like in the Keys and parts of Florida. So we're still waiting for some of those numbers to come back. And then there's the relief. How do we actually get people into their homes or back into their jobs and into their vehicles? And then how do we rebuild? How do we rebuild the infrastructure?
It was wonderful to see so many people checking on loved ones via texting or Facebook, just reaching out to people who lived in the Florida or Texas area. So after that, I think everybody starts to think, I want to give money. Should they give money or items?
They should give money. And absolutely, that old saying, cash is king, is true. You know, a lot of times people say, well, you know, they lost everything. I want to send clothing, or I want to send a couch, or let me send my coffee maker, or what have you. And what they don't realize is the difficulty with the infrastructure, being able to get those items actually to those folks. I remember during Hurricane Katrina, I went to send a package to a friend, and it was in Louisiana, and the first thing the post office said, no, we can't take it. But then they looked at the zip code and said, oh yeah, that part of Louisiana, which I knew was accepting packages. So, you know, we don't think about that. We just think with our heart and we want to give items. The best thing to do is give a charitable donation via one of our trusted nonprofits.
Let's talk about the people that you trust. Red Cross tops your list.
Red Cross, American Red Cross tops my list. They do amazing work and make it really easy to give, either via online, you know, you can mail in a check, or you can do it through your mobile phone. Second is the Salvation Army. They're doing amazing work on the ground in the shelters. And the third is Feeding America. You know, what most people don't realize is Feeding America provides the food to American Red Cross and to the Salvation Army to actually be able to feed the people. And understand this, for every dollar you donate, they can provide 11 meals.
And you also like the Better Business Bureau site, which is so easy, give.org.
Give.org, absolutely, to check out nonprofits. A lot of people say, where can I give, Lisa? Where can I vet this nonprofit organization? And I have 3 recommendations. Obviously, the Better Business Bureau, Wise Giving Alliance, give.org, but check out Charity Navigator. This morning, I looked on Charity Navigator's website, and they actually had 2 icons for Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma, and when you clicked on it, there was a whole list of nonprofits operating in those areas, and they had the quick check of their star system, so very easy, Angie, to figure out who you want to give to. And then the second is GuideStar, which is another organization, guidestar.org, that vets nonprofit organizations.
Let's take a look at how to avoid scams, because scams do happen. Pay attention to that URL.
Pay attention to the URL. You know, sometimes the scammers will put redcross1.org or redcross#.org. And I'm not just picking on the Red Cross, I'm using it as an example. But really pay attention to that. And if somebody is sending something to you that you don't know the person, or you don't know the organization, or it seems a little fishy, you know, pick up the phone and call the nonprofit, or take a step and you do the search. You know, you put in American Red Cross, Hurricane Relief, and see what comes up.
Fact or fiction, it takes up to a year if you donate money now to Hurricanes Irma or Harvey for it to actually siphon down and get to those people.
Partly of both. It can be part fact and part fiction. It depends on the organization. It depends on what phase of the relief, rescue, or recovery they're in. You know, obviously we want to get resources to the people right now. Without any power, there's no banks, there's no ATMs, there's no way to access money. So most organizations will give the individuals some portion of money so they can operate on a day-to-day basis right now. But there are forms and there are processes to go through to make sure that the victims that are getting the resources actually, 1, live in the area, and 2, it's based on their need.
How much money actually goes to the victims versus just paperwork and the behind-the-scenes processing?
You know, I get asked that question a lot, and a lot of my friends challenge me, but I often say to them, it can be up to 30% can go to overhead and operations. And I go, oh my gosh, 30%, I want all my dollars. I want my whole $100 to go to relief. And I said, could you live on 30% of your salary? Could you actually bank 70% in your retirement and your savings account? My guess is no. If you're like me, the answer is no. I said, understand that these organizations are operating efficiently, effectively, effectively. But they are people who have, you know, jobs, and they need to be paid, and they need to be paid a living wage in order to go in and take care of our individuals in our country who are at their most vulnerable right now.
So it's good to donate.
It is always good to donate, and you know, there are so many ways to give it. We make it so easy. I think that we as Americans, that's our tradition. We come together. Don't get donor fatigue. Actually give and dig a little deeper.
Americans are generous.
Yes, they are.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, always happy to be here.